What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're all doing very well. We got a massive dump of season 2 news. It's just been all over the place. PTR stuff, there's weapon team mugs, there's talent calculators, there's a bunch of really crazy stuff going on, and including the tier set bonuses for every single class and spec for season 2, which is the Undermine Goblin patch, right? So I'm going to talk about the Shaman ones today, what I think about them and their appearances. We're going to start there, actually. So the models are pretty good, actually. I mean, I don't know. It depends. This is completely subjective. I want to hear what you guys think. But a lot of the tier sets, in my mind, seem to be like similar. Like they're always coming across kind of similarly. I really thought that with the goblin-themed Undermine location that we're going to in season 2, that Blizzard would take like a big risk and do some crazy goblin-themed tier sets, and they haven't done that at all. Like, I think it would be so iconic for them to have done something really crazy for all the different specs, but they kind of didn't. There's some interesting ones, like the pirate one for rogue. The mage one, or the priest one's just horrible, but I don't know. I want to hear what you guys think about this, but I wish that Blizzard would take more risks with this stuff and make it really crazy. This set is fine. The shaman one is fine. The fire one looks really cool. The shoulders look really good. The helmet looks really good, and like this chest cloth is really good as well. That part is very good. But I'm a little disappointed that they didn't take a risk and go for like a goblin theme one. But that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's talk about the actual bonuses themselves, and I'm going to put them into the middle of the screen so it's easier to see. So we're going to go over each one. First of all, before we get to them, there is sort of a brand new system with the tier set bonuses coming in, and they have these keywords, and I'm going to talk all about this right now. So in the War Within Season 2, class sets will have a 2-piece bonus designed by their role, and a 4-piece set bonus that's designed for their spec. Okay, did you catch that? So the 2-piece bonus is a little bit more generic and is like role dependent. So every role has a similar 2-piece bonus. However, there are variations in terms of which abilities are getting buffed. I'll get to that in a second. And then the 4-piece bonus is very much just your own. It is all about your spec and whatever different spells that you've got there. There's a lot of interaction that way. So this is like true for some of them and not as true for other ones. We're gonna have to wait and see. They also have these keywords, okay? The 3 different keywords are jackpot, insurance, and luck of the draw, okay? Oh, yeah, there's winning streak as well, which is like a, I'm not sure when winning streak pops in, but the main reason that these are here actually is because they're going to interact with the raid a little bit, which was a shock to me, but that's what they say. So it's interesting. We're gonna have to see how that kind of ends up working. But basically, there's going to be these tags, and you're going to know kind of based on your role what your tag is doing. And then I think when we get to the actual raid, there's going to be some actual interactions based on the fight, I would say. So we'll see. You know, I don't know. As you can see, the wording and structure for each of the 2-piece sets within a role will be very similar, but the keyword jackpot rewards differ depending on your spec. The difference is expanded upon in each 4-piece set, which adds further unique twists to each spec, which is cool. This is the part up here. I was trying to get to this earlier. The keywords will be tied thematically to our upcoming raid, Liberation of Undermine. So I don't know what that really means, but maybe there'll be a fight where it's like everybody who gets a jackpot goes over here. Like, I don't even know how they're going to do that. Here's the bonuses for Shaman. And we're going to get to that right now. So the elemental one says this. The 2-piece says this. Your spells and abilities have a chance to hit a jackpot. That summons a fire elemental for 8 seconds. Casting Ascendance always hits a jackpot. Okay? So again, for the purposes of like, let's say you're just doing a Mythic Plus dungeon, getting this jackpot thing, it doesn't mean anything other than the fact that it summons a fire elemental for you. So for other specs, for example, you know, Assassination gets a winning streak, which increases their Envenom and Rupture and stuff. And then if Epilogue gets a winning streak, they get dispatch damage. If Subtlety gets a winning streak, they get eviscerate damage. So like, I don't really know why they described it this way, because yes, the 2-piece bonuses all have these keywords, but they still do different things based on your class. Not just based on your role, based on your class, right? And Venom, Rupture, Crimson Tempest damage versus Dispatch damage. Those are different. So I'm not really entirely sure what Blizzard's going for here. It's a little weird. But just know that there's these keywords and certain specs are going to get jackpots and winning streaks and whatever. What that means is it's going to trigger something special for you. So for Resto Shaman, you get a fire elemental for 8 seconds. Casting Ascendance always hits a jackpot, which is very good. When you summon or extend your fire elemental, your lightning bolt, chain lightning, and lava burst deal 10% increased damage for 8 seconds. This is actually potentially really strong for Resto Shaman, because if this fire elemental can be converted into a storm elemental, which I'm assuming it can. I don't know this for sure, but I'm assuming it's either storm or fire elemental. Then you could craft a new build entirely based around having your elemental up all the time. So let's say you have storm elemental, and then you also have you have elemental unity, which says when your storm elemental is active, you're doing more damage. Like the uptime on your elemental should be pretty high, depending on the proc rate of you getting this jackpot. You're going to get an elemental for 8 seconds. Casting Ascendance always gets an elemental. So like you can guarantee that you have an elemental up for every single Ascendance, which is really great, which means you can just cast your regular elemental like on cooldown and not have to worry about it. You could also take buffs like Echo of the Elementals. When your Storm Elemental or Fire Elemental expire, they leave behind a lesser elemental. I don't know if that works with this tier set bonus, but that would be really cool if it did. So, every time you score a jackpot, you summon a little 8-second fire elemental, and then when he expires, you get the extra one for 12 seconds, which is very interesting. And I would say there are some actual potential synergies here. Maybe you go Primal Elementalists. Like, I think for sure Echo of the Elementals is an interesting idea, and then you're going to want Everlasting Elements, because I'm assuming that's going to buff the duration of even the temporary elemental that you're getting 20% longer on 8 seconds. That means he would go for 10 seconds instead of 8, which is not bad. So we'll see. At the very least, there's some interesting interactions going on for the Elemental Shaman one. Whether or not it's actually good is yet to be seen. But maybe there'll be a little bit of build shuffling for Elemental Shaman with this tier set bonus. The 4-set bonus is pretty boring. Whenever you extend your fire elemental or summon a new one, you get chain lightning, lightning bolt, and lava burst damage. Those are your generators, not your spenders. So your generators are going to do more damage. So it's whatever. I mean, I can immediately see this being very, very good for the storm build, where you're summoning a storm elemental all the time, which is very good. And then it's buffing your lightning bolt and chain lightning damage, which is also very good. So we'll have to wait and see how that kind of pans out. Let's do the enhancement shaman one. This is very interesting. Your spells and abilities have a chance to activate winning streak, which I think is just the melee. That's just the melee trigger. Okay. The range trigger is jackpot for DPS. The melee DPS trigger is winning streak. Healers get insurance, and tanks get the jack of all trades thing. Just what is it? Luck of the draw. Luck of the draw. There you go. Your spells and moves have a chance to activate a winning streak, increasing the damage of Storm Strike, Crash Lightning, and Lava Lash by 5%, stacking 5 times. So up to 25% more damage to your generators, which are Maelstrom Weapon Stack generators. Storm Strike, Crash Lightning, Lava Lash, amongst other generators. Spending Maelstrom Weapon has a 15% chance to remove winning streak. This is where it gets kind of weird, where you're like, wait, if I gain winning streak, I'm gaining a stacking damage bonus, and then you're telling me to remove winning streak? Why do I want to remove winning streak? Well, when you gain a stack of winning streak, you reduce the cooldown of Doom Winds by 2 seconds. When you remove winning streak entirely, you reduce the cooldown of Doom Winds by 10 seconds. So this is all around Doom Winds, which is insane. And I looked at the patch notes for Enhancement Shaman to see if there was any additional buffs coming to Doom Winds, and I don't see any. So Doom Winds is not going to get buffed in any way. It's going to remain the way that it is right now. And this entire tier set bonus is about reducing the cooldown of Doom Winds. I don't know how I feel about that. Obviously, Doom Winds has a little AoE storm effect around your character doing damage. And of course, it helps you to trigger Wind Fury weapon a lot more than normal. It's about 200%, I think, more, right? Which is great. Don't get me wrong. It's also a 1 minute cooldown, but the damage of Doom Winds has never been like a massive part of anything. It's more just a conduit to proc Wind Fury weapon. That has been the most common sort of reason for doing this. Now, if Doom Winds is up like twice as often as it normally is, like I don't know how much cooldown reduction this is actually going to end up giving you, but whenever you're doing your attacks, you're generating Maelstrom weapon stacks, maybe you're generating winning streak, you know, that's 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds off the cooldown of Doom Winds. That's really, really cool. And then you get a proc and you remove the winning streak, and then boom, you get 10 seconds. 10 seconds off the cooldown of Doom Winds is like 16% of its entire cooldown. If you remove 10 seconds, that's 16%, I think, of its entire cooldown, which is crazy. 15%, whatever, something like that. So the uptime on Doom Winds is going to be a lot higher, which means your Wind Fury weapon damage should also end up being a lot higher, which begs the question, is there going to be a new build where you're focusing on physical damage? Let's say you go totemic and you take like Imbuement Mastery, which increases your chance for Wind Fury weapon to proc, which is great. Whenever your Wind Fury weapon procs, you trigger Flame Tongue weapon, which is really good. You can increase the damage of your totem. This is all physical stuff. And then you're going to take physical dogs, and then you're going to get like Legacy of the Frost Witch. Legacy of the Frost Witch is getting buffed quite a bit, actually. It's going from 5% for 1 talent point to 15%, and it's going for 8 seconds. So whenever you get the Legacy of the Frost Witch buff, it's going to be up for 8 seconds instead of 5. Your physical damage will be buffed. Again, the second point in Legacy still gives you 25%, but 25% more damage on Wind Fury and Doom Winds damage, and Storm Strike, which, by the way, Storm Strike is also getting buffed. Let me just find it here. Crash Lightning is also getting buffed, but Crash Lightning does nature damage, so I actually completely forget about that. Crash Lightning does, of course, trigger, it ends up triggering a lot of Wind Fury weapon stuff, which is great. They had a Storm Strike thing in here somewhere. I don't know where it is now. Storm Strike is getting buffed. Let me see if I can just find it really quickly here. Flowing Spirits, Feral Spirits. There it is. So 134% damage to 269%. That is insane. They're like doubling the damage of Storm Strike, which, okay. Like from what I can read on the tooltip, they're doubling the damage of Storm Strike. So maybe, just maybe, there is going to be a physical Doom Winds focused build where you play totemic, you put your totem down, your Wind Fury weapon has a higher chance to proc, you're taking Doom Winds, you're cooling down Doom Winds, you got a Legacy of the Frost Witch buff. I don't know how this would work out, but you got 2 points there. You got physical dogs. You see what I'm saying? You could buff the damage of Storm Strike even more. I don't know. The point is, there could be something kind of interesting here cooking, and it's all revolving around Doom Winds. So we'll see. It feels like it could be either a really, really good thing or just completely terrible, and you're just going to almost ignore it. I think that a lot of Enhancement Shaman people are going to be mad about this tier set bonus because Doom Winds has typically not been a serious contributor to damage. It just triggers your Wind Fury weapon, basically, which procs Maelstrom weapon stacks. That's about all it does. So not sure how that's going to land with people. Resto Shaman. Your healing spells have a chance to apply insurance. That's the tag for all healers. Chance to apply insurance to their targets, and that heals them over 15 seconds. Insurance is consumed if an ally drops below 50 or 40% of their health, and it heals them. Okay, that's the 2-set bonus. We'll talk about why that's kind of a bad thing in a second. When you cast Healing Rain or Surging Totem, one ally in the radius of insurance has insurance applied to them. Sorry. One person inside of Healing Rain gets insurance applied to them. When insurance is consumed, when somebody drops below 40% health, your next Chain Heal, Healing Surge, or Healing Wave is increased by 10%. So this last part, in my opinion, is very, very bad design for healers. What this says is you get no bonus to your abilities unless somebody drops below 40% of their max HP and they have insurance on them. They have to have the insurance thing on them, and then they have to drop below 40% HP. That's 2 conditions in order to get this 10% bonus healing, which is very little. You don't want to incentivize healers to let their party members drop below 40% HP. That is a really bad design. Obviously, there's lots of situations where your allies naturally drop below 40% HP and you have to panic heal them, and that's fine. I'm just saying, like, this entire design is based on making sure that your allies drop below 40% HP in order to get the actual bonus. The only other bonus you're getting from this is the insurance hot itself, which we don't know how good this is. Sure, it's great that I'm getting extra hots on people all the time, and then if they drop below 40% health, actually no, it doesn't even, well, it doesn't even get consumed, sorry. It heals them over 15 seconds, I guess, but not until they drop below 40% HP, right? You have a chance to apply insurance to the target, but it's which heals them over 15 seconds, but insurance... Oh, no, sorry. It does heal them, and then the consuming. Yeah, sorry. I'm backtracking here. So you do get a heal over time, and then if it gets consumed by them dipping below 40% HP, then your next heal. So it's even doubly strange, right? You put this hot on an ally, they start regenerating health, and then they dip below 40% HP, which is when they're in the danger zone of dying, and then the hot goes away. Now the hot is gone because it's been consumed. And yay, your next spell is going to be stronger, but it's like, maybe I would have rather just had an extra hot on them to keep them going when they drop below 40% HP. I just don't understand. There's just a lot of problems with this. I think this is a really, really, really bad design for the healer one because it's almost entirely out of your control, right? You're just getting random hots on allies that are healing them, and then when they drop below 40% HP, the hot disappears, and then suddenly you have a proc of like, ooh, your next heal's 10% stronger. Like, how? That's terrible. It should be like 40% stronger or something. I don't know. It's really, really, really bad in my opinion. So, swing and a miss on the Restoration Shaman one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think this is really bad. The other two are fine. I think at least the elemental one and the enhancement one have interesting like cooldown reduction effects that also interact with talent trees. I think that is amazing. When you're interacting with a talent tree and forcing me to think differently about my talent tree, I personally think that's a good thing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think the sets look fine. I think the bonuses are okay. What do you think about this new like trigger word system? What do you think about this, the sets where it's like the 2-piece bonus is based on your roll and the 4-piece bonus is kind of based on your spec, even though as I'm reading these, it doesn't really work out that way. I don't really understand what Blizzard's trying to say, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's a little confusing right now. I'm going to try and sort all this out, and we'll do some more videos on Season 2 and all the features that are coming. I'm going to cover all this stuff, okay? So let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.